What's up, guys? Thank you for joining me for another video. For those of you who are coming to this channel for the first time, welcome. I'm Blackwood, and I bring consciousness to the forefront of your daily life to make life a little kinder and simpler. For all of you who are joining us again, welcome back. So I have a little story time. I've been noticing more and more that spirituality and personal development, whether you combine them or not, to me are very much the same as when I was learning how to spell in the first grade. So up to the first grade, you learn that there are rules to how to spell, how to sound words out, all those different things. And then I came to first grade to learn the red flag words. And I thought that was very interesting because all of a sudden we had been given this set of rules and then all of a sudden told that there are things that contradict those rules. And I find that in personal development and in spirituality, and especially when they go hand in hand, the deeper and deeper you get into spirituality, the more you start to feel like, wait a minute, doesn't that contradict what I learned before? And it doesn't. It really doesn't. But it can seem that way if you don't have a teacher to sort of explain to you how they all sort of flow together. Because really, I've been noticing people looking at things like there's fake spirituality and there's real spirituality, and that's definitely the case. That's why I'm all about being awake, not woke. But that being the case, there is sort of a preparation or prerequisite for spirituality that can look similar to what people consider the woke sort of fake spirituality. So there's a difference, for instance, between being superficial versus having self-care versus having the primary goal of serving the community and others first. And so, there's the difference, and there's a reason why there's this whole big thing about self-care isn't selfish, because there is a big difference between being superficial and having self-care when it comes to having really good, healthy self-care. That has nothing to do with being superficial. It has to do with having self-awareness, boundaries, and priorities, as I teach in the one course that I have. As I teach as well to the clients that I have. There's absolutely a difference between being selfish and self-absorbed and having self-care. But then you get deeper and deeper into spirituality, and it becomes all about learning how to help others as much as it is about being healthy yourself. And to some people, this may seem like it contradicts, but it really doesn't, because the foundation of self-care that you need to have as sort of, like I said, a preparation or prerequisite to your spiritual awakening, or that is your spiritual awakening, that leads into, sort of the temple that is your spiritual path. Again, that's very different and leads into the then being able to, in a healthy way, serve your community and serve others better. So it's not so much they actually contradict each other, as that you just have to have someone to sort of explain to you how they fit in. And if you have someone that's making self-care seem like, just pampering yourself, eating ice cream in a robe, in a bath, or whatever, then they're really not explaining to you what self-care really is when people talk about it in the spiritual community. Self-care is not about working from a beach on your laptop. Self-care is about having, again, the self-awareness to understand what your priorities are and therefore what your boundaries need to be. That is the basis of self-care, is having that self-awareness to then be able to live a healthy, happy life. So, whenever you come to, whether you're deeper into spirituality or deeper into personal development, or mixing some combination of the two of them, if you find yourself feeling like things contradict, fear not. If you have the right teacher, just ask. They should be able to explain to you why they don't contradict each other. I found when I was really starting to get into being a Rosicrucian, for instance, there were times where I felt like I was being taught things and then taught something that was contradictory. But what I started to realize as I'm explaining to you here is that, sort of like spelling in the first grade, we had to learn the foundation of the rules before we could understand it in greater detail. And though that may seem like it kind of contradicts itself, it really builds upon itself, where you're just adding more and more things, not so much that they are actually contradicting. And sometimes there will be things that seem to contradict each other, to be perfectly honest, because it's just the easier way of teaching it. I don't know why. People feel this. I try not to teach that way. I try to give people the foundations step by step in a way in which they can build on each other rather than contradict each other. But some people feel like it's easier to teach something that contradicts and just explain, oh, well, it's not really that way, it's this way. Again, I try not to do that with my clients and in my course, but some people feel that that's the best way to do it. Anyway, like I was saying, if you find yourself studying these things and you feel like they're contradicting, throw me a question in the comments. Throw me a question. We can do a free mini session. I have free mini sessions as introductions to my one-on-one work that you can sign up for if you've never worked with me before. So if you have a question, if you feel like something in your spiritual teachings are contradicting, or your personal development teachings, or both are contradicting, let me know in the comments below. Let me know in an email. Hit me up. I'll make sure that all of the ways in which you can reach me are available in the description. And last but not least, I am, as I said in my last video, posting another module for my course today. I've decided that I will not be making any more courses, so I'm putting my course on Patreon, the one that I have already. I love it very much, but I feel like right now I am meant to be devoting my time to specifically one-on-one client work. So, I tried. It didn't work with my flow. This is a great example of how, we try and try again, and we learn by learning what doesn't work, what will work. I love always finding metaphors and examples of that for people. So my course is up on Patreon. There will be a link for that in the description. There are 5 modules already out, and there are 3 more to go up. And it's incredibly inexpensive, especially for what it was when I was doing it in live rounds, by doing it with my Patreon subscription. And, again, if you're interested in learning these things from me, specifically, if this resonates with you and you don't want to feel like everything contradicts, sign up for a free mini session. And that's what I'm all about, helping people understand these things through one-on-one shadow work. Basically, one-on-one personal development, spiritual personal development counseling. So, thank you guys for joining me. May the energy you serve you well, and let's keep making our way through. Be brave, stay sane, and be kinder to each other.